Chris Chambers joins me, LBC's Northwest correspondent. He's been with us for the whole programme. Now, you did say earlier, Chris, that the Greater Manchester Police, you're expecting they might release another statement over the course of the evening. Have they done that yet?
We haven't had any more details yet, Ian. We are hopeful that that might come in the next hour or so. Obviously, there's no guarantee, but I know they are working hard to keep the public as up to date as possible. It's something that's been a big kind of drive, certainly since, the Southport attacks of last year, trying to make sure that people know the full details and, are as up to date as they can tell without really jeopardising any kind of investigation. But certainly what they've told us so far is, as you just alluded to there, that the attacker drove his car at members of the public, then got out and attacked them with a knife, killed 2 people and has left 4 others seriously hurt. And these were, of course, people from the Jewish community who were heading to the synagogue for Yom Kippur, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar. We were told that armed police were on scene within 6 or 7 minutes, shooting dead the attacker, who was wearing what looked to be a suicide vest. We now know that wasn't a viable device. They also carried out a controlled explosion on his car to gain access to his car as well. So Stephen Watson is the Chief Constable of Greater Manchester Police, and he gave us details in a press conference earlier on.
Following a rapid response, armed officers from Greater Manchester Police intercepted the offender, and he was fatally shot by officers within 7 minutes of the original call. 4 further people remain in hospital, having suffered a variety of serious injuries, and their treatment is ongoing, and our thoughts are with them and their families. At this time, we know that a car was driven directly at members of the public outside the Heaton Park Hebrew Congregation Synagogue on Middleton Road, Crumpsall in Manchester. The driver of the car was seen then to attack people with a knife. He was wearing about his body a vest which had the appearance of an explosive device.
And we were saying just before about we could be getting an update from Greater Manchester Police. Got some breaking news that's just come through, and I'm reading this to you as I read it for the first time as well. It's an update from Counter-Terrorism Policing, and it says, I'll read it word for word, it says, the investigation into the attack outside the Heaton Park Hebrew Congregation Synagogue in North Manchester is continuing. Police can say tonight that they can confirm that 3 suspects are currently in custody and have been arrested on suspicion of commission, preparation and instigation of acts of terrorism. They are 2 men in their 30s and a woman in her 60s. The report goes on to say scenes remain in place on White House Avenue in the Crumpsall area and Langley Crescent in Prestwich were also linked to the arrests. And they are now able to confirm that although formal identification is yet to take place, we believe the person responsible for today's attacks is 35-year-old Jihad al Shamie. He is a British citizen of Syrian descent. So that is the name of the man who was shot dead by police earlier on today outside the synagogue. 35-year-old Jihad al Shamie, a British citizen of Syrian descent. The release here from Greater Manchester Police goes on to say a suspicious device worn by the attacker during the incident has been assessed and was deemed not to be viable. Based on what we currently know, our records don't show any previous prevent referrals relating to this individual, so that is significant. 2 innocent men were sadly pronounced dead following the incident. 3 other men remain in hospital with serious injuries. 1 sustained a stab wound and a 2nd was struck by the car involved in the attack. The 3rd man later presented himself at hospital with an injury that may have been sustained as officers stopped the attacker. This goes on to say we are working to formally identify those who've tragically been killed and provide support to their loved ones, in addition to the injured and the wider community. And they say that they are working to understand the motivation behind the attack as the investigation continues. So a significant update there from Greater Manchester Police and the Counter-Terrorism Unit, saying that the attacker is 35-year-old Jihad al Shamie, a British citizen of Syrian descent, and that we know that records show there are no previous prevent referrals, Ian.
Chris, thank you very much indeed. That's Chris Chambers, LBC's Northwest correspondent.